what have you done for me lately? Yeah, I've heard it all the time. 7 out of the last 9 again, the Daily Dog. I mean, I don't know what more I can do, but we'll touch on that a little later in the program. Just wanted to get that out of the way before it ends up on the River Region Straw chat line, because I know it's coming. Yep, you heard me right. 7 out of the last 9.
I don't know what more I can do. I know these guys over here, they're thinking, yeah, you can go 9 out of 9.
Oh,
that's what you can do. These guys over here, they're like, maybe they're just like their mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Yeah.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It is the Monday show, the very first moments of the Monday show, the very first moments of a week's worth of programming that gets us ever closer to the start of the college football season. Like Major League Baseball, they need to have just a big day, one big day. Not the soft opening necessarily that we'll get coming up in 17 days on Thursday, August 27th, Ohio Dominican at Morehead State, Gardner Webb at Austin P, Central Arkansas at UT Martin. And then you've got Saturday, the first Saturday of the college football season. Okay, North Carolina versus TCU from Dublin. San Jose State at USC. Southern and Alabama State in Birmingham. NC State at Virginia. I'm looking to see if there are any ranked teams not North Carolina, not TCU.
I think NC State beat UVA last year, and I think Virginia's supposed to be pretty good this year, so that might be a good game.
But it's a soft opening.
Yeah, very soft, Greggy.
Is it supposed to be this soft?
You know, I hate to be a party pooper.
Already in the first segment again. This streak is longer than the Braves' winning streak. You know, I hate to be a party pooper. That means get ready. There's about to be poop on your party.
You know, it's kind of like over the weekend, hey, football's here. I said, is it really? No, it's not. They're going through shorts. They got a helmet on with a big pad on it. And no, I'm ready to see, has anybody gotten hurt? Who's the clear front runner? This all jumping jack and running 40 stuff. Nah, It's kind of like the first couple of games you just mentioned. Don't give me that. I know Austin Peay plays Vandy in week 1, and maybe Vandy fans are going to see what Austin Peay's got for them. But the first weekend, Labor Day weekend, that's when I'm interested. I might turn on to watch a little scrimmage between the Tide and the Pirates of East Carolina. I heard Phil Steele say the Bama would be over a 3-touchdown favorite there. Then I'll get ready for that Baylor-Auburn game. Somebody told us it could be a closer game than some people are expecting. Mr. College Football himself, Tony Barnhart. Then Clemson at LSU. That's what I'm ready for. None of this little mamby-pamby, touchy-feely stuff they throw out at us on a Thursday or the week before, all that. I mean, I hate to be, people are chomping at the bit, but not me.
That's a shame. That's a shame because you're in the business.
Yeah,
you're in the business of following this stuff. Yeah, I'm not following this. I'm not. They've got to meet my standards. They've got to meet my expectations.
Correct.
Anybody out there wants to talk a little football? Forget about it. It's not any good.
They need to put on the games I want to watch that I am interested in. Mm-hmm. Well, what about those Austin Peay fans? Well, what about them?
Yeah,
go for it. Yeah. Austin Peay.
Yep. They've got facilities and uniforms and quarterbacks and athletic trainers and all that stuff. John says that's not real football. The man who loves hyphenated words more than anybody else, namby-pamby, wishy-washy. He's already brought up touchy-feely. He's already brought up all of those in the first segment, and he doesn't want to be, Debbie Downer or anything.
No, I'm not fiddle-farting around watching that kind of stuff. No.
I don't even know what that – I've never heard that in my life before I met John, and I don't understand the visual. You are fiddling while you're What has one got to do with it? Does that signify?
It just kind of flows off the tongue. Well, yeah. Kind of like grab assing. I mean, what is that? But coaches used to use it all the time, particularly this time of year.
Yeah.
Longshore, quick grab assing. Let's go. I go, what is he talking about? What do you want? What do you mean?
I don't want to say this because Coach Uffner in middle school at Stone Middle School in Melbourne, Florida, used to use this word all the time to us kids. It's an alliterative, hyphenated word. The first word is numb.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that one too.
And, I'm thinking, what does that mean? You know? I mean,
it's been a minute since I've heard that, but I've heard it. Yeah.
Oh, I used to hear it a lot.
Yeah.
But for those of you who are thirsty for more, if the teams out there who are going through preseason camp are following the same schedule, and they should, you're about to get your wish, because today or tomorrow is when the pads are popping.
Love it.
Like Troy's having contact today. I mean, full pads, getting after it.
Excellent.
It's the start. It's a little bit different than it has been in the past because of, class schedules. Classes start at Troy on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And, the start of this season, a lot of these schools, most of these schools, virtually all of these schools have a very quick preseason camp, because now Wednesday classes start and you've got to work around that and all of that. So normally you got a couple of weeks of, wishy-washy, namby-pamby,
fiddle farting.
Don't give me that, don't give me that stuff.
Yeah.
There's usually a couple of weeks of that, but you're having to jump right in. There's going to be contact. I mean, full pads contact this week all across this country. And if you believe for a moment that John prefers hot full contact practices over running around in Union Jack shorts and, starting fights, with a little whisper in the ear, I don't think he would be
actually I did, because my role in a full contact afternoon practice wasn't maybe the same as the guys going about 240 that are in the trenches all day. Mine was a little different, so I kind of enjoyed it, to tell you the truth.
For him, it was no contact. Man, he had on a special different colored jersey, him and Turk. You had, you had the regular jerseys, like the black jerseys. That meant that you're full contact. You're eligible for anything. You have the yellow jerseys, which a lot of places means this guy's injured. He's not 100%. You had the green jerseys, which were the quarterbacks. And they used to put a beige jersey on John because it'd be like, hit him if you want to. No big deal.
Well, yeah.
If you pop him, that's all right.
Yeah.
Turk had on the green jersey with the athletic tape across the front of his helmet that said, "Do not hit."
Yeah. Don't touch this guy.
I mean, people would get thrown off the team for hitting Turk full speed in practice. But it's exciting, right? I mean, you're getting to that point. All of the old cliches that John will hit you with, separating the men from the boys, the wheat from the chaff. This is the week for that.
Well, it's it's like another subject I'm going to get into later today on the program. In over 3 decades in this business, I've kind of seen it. I know what's coming. I've heard this before, seen that before, and we've mentioned that a lot of people get excited when SEC Media Days roll around. Yeah. Everybody comes together, a lot of highlight film tape of the players and the coaches and all this kind of stuff. And then you kind of go through a little lull in August before the season starts. And we're kind of going through that right now. Once these scrimmages start happening, there'll be more information and there'll be more buzz and talk about, hey, man, so-and-so tells me that he saw this guy who was at the practice that said, man, number 4 looked really good. I mean, this is the guy to watch. Now, I like those kind of nuggets. And certainly most times that I hear it from people I hear it from, I have no reason to not believe it. Trust what they tell me. Nothing too overly earth-shattering, but certainly seeing something that's got a little bit more meat on the bone, That's when I start getting interested. Oh, really? Is that what you're hearing? Oh, wow. Okay, man. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
There is that. Well, the fall semester is still a week away at Auburn, within the week. At Troy, Alabama, not sure. But
I can tell you, it starts on the 20th, I believe, which is a week from this Wednesday. I believe it's the first day of classes. I will be leaving Stivers Ford on Friday morning, Barry, heading up Highway 82. There will be a convoy that will go before we get off the air because it's move-in day on Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of be going, that goes there. Yeah, go, that put that over there. That looks great. Sure. Oh, yeah, really? Okay. Y'all want me to go get something to drink for y'all? Good. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was wondering if John was going to show up for that visit at Stivers with ratty blue jeans, old T-shirt, hat turned around back, ready to go to work.
Well, to tell you the truth, Barry, don't tell anybody, but a bunch of me and my old frat buddies, we're meeting at Galette's at 1. So, hey, I'll be right back. Got to go pick up some nails and stuff to hang these pictures with.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Where did he go? Man, he's been gone 3 hours. Well, man, move-in day was yesterday down in Troy, and our church is right at the edge of campus. And almost got late to church trying to get everything, or to this thing on Saturday we had to do. Well, they say that the Tiger Transit buses at Auburn are already getting plenty of use after each practice at the Wolthouse Football Performance Center during camp. Auburn is loading up on the Tiger Transit buses and heading 20 minutes, staying at the Marriott Grand National. And it's something evidently Golesh has used since his first season as a head coach at South Florida back in 2023, according to Nathan King. And evidently, if you look in to the players, they're saying this is all right. This is doing what it's intended to do. The older players are rooming with the younger players, the older experienced players with youngsters, fifth-year seniors with freshmen, The coaching staff collects every player's car keys Tuesday night, or checked it Tuesday night. It's been almost a week now. Before checking into the hotel, they got all the car keys. Some players packed light, just a suitcase and a backpack. A couple of the players say the room service is the favorite part.
Wow. Man.
Room service. Yeah. Safety Eric Winter says, if I'm going to be honest, when he first said it, I was a little frustrated. I want to get back home, get in my own bed. But when you get here and you're just around all those guys, it's truly a blessing to be around them. Just keep building that connection going into the season.
I'm just taking a guess here. I can't imagine all 100 and whatever many kids are on the team. I mean, unanimous, hands down, 100%. Everybody loves it. I want to hear from one of the players that doesn't like it. Not all this touchy-feely. It's all wonderful and great, and the seniors are with the freshmen, and room service comes. Last time I heard of an athletic department room service, Mike Price was involved in it. Football players service.
Something about Peyton Manning and a trainer or something like that. I can't remember what a nickname was. It was something like Bumpers or something. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hear from somebody that doesn't think it's great. I mean, they all 100%. And you said Golesh did this at South Florida?
Yes.
Well, based on his record at South Florida, particularly against big-time opposition, this ain't a good idea.
This is Mr. I don't hate to be Debbie Downer here.
Yeah.
When he says that, you better get ready.
I wasn't aware that they did this down in South Florida either. I'm not sure why that was such a good idea there, and it's going to be one on the Plains. But, maybe Auburn will be in the 12-team playoff, and we'll all look back at this and say, you know what? Those 13 days at the Marriott were the difference.
This was the springboard to excellence.
That was the difference. The Marriott.
I wonder what the turnover is among the Marriott staff. Room service again? That kid ain't been out of his room other than to go to practice and to come back.
I know.
Yeah, give me some of those gooey fries and
who's paying for the room service?
3 fried chickens and some.
I mean, do the individuals have to pay for it? Or they just put it on Auburn's tab.
What do you think?
I mean, they must be flush with cash over there. I mean, $350 million end zone renovation, trying to get some money for the soccer stadium and track and field and whatnot. And Lord knows what they're blowing over at the Marriott for 13 days.
I don't think it's unlimited room service.
Well, who's watching it?
They're watching smoothies. I mean, they're limiting smoothies. I would imagine logic tells us that they would limit.
Is that still the case? I gotta think they've lifted the smoothie limit. If they're bucking up at the Marriott for 2 weeks, I can't believe they got a limit on smoothies.
That was the biggest crock of nothing John's ever come up with.
I didn't. Well, Marshall came up with it. He's the one that tipped me off to that.
Oh, he was the one that said, you need to act like a big-time program. That was a Harsin deal or something. I mean,
smoothie limits and Cracker Barrel. Well, I got more on the Marriott. Also, Jay, I hate to tell you, Springsteen sucks. He's never been
Springsteen's awesome.
He's terrible.
Yep.
His political views are terrible, and his music's not any good.
Oh, love me some Springsteen.
I wouldn't go to a Springsteen show if you gave me a ticket on the first row.
Yeah. Now, this is a good question from Coach Ed. He says, question for the Auburn fans.
Yeah.
How many players could Auburn football could have paid for instead of going to the Marriott? I mean, this program has not had a meeting in 5 or 6 years. Don't they need 5 stars? You can say that, but evidently, like John said, I mean, they're polling the fans about putting a $5 million upgrade to the soccer stadium. Yeah. They got $330 million tied up in the football deal. Yeah. I guess things are all right. Plus, there are limits to the amount of NIL you can give. I don't know what they are. I don't know that anybody.
Are they limits? I think we're trying to put limits on it. Are there? Some of these numbers I'm hearing players allegedly are getting through NIL. I'm thinking, really? Huh? Wow, that's more than I thought.
A lot of comments. Yep. Jay says strongly disagree on Springsteen, but to each his own. I'm with you, Jay. Absolutely. Love me some Springsteen. No, not politically, aligned with me, but I love me some Springsteen.
Yeah, just never been one of that hadn't floated my boat. Run. But I like this. I second that, John. Springsteen sucks. Hey, to each your own. I'm with you. Yeah.
Well, 18 minutes in, it is the Monday show. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light! Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here! Oh, Bud Light there! I missed that because of you! You did not miss that play because of me! Have to stop talking this way? Yeah! It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind! Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks. Like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. About 20 minutes past the hour on this Monday, Longshore and McKnight. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Helps out the show. And, of course, it's something called algorithm, they tell us. So it sounds important. So hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You can check us out, obviously, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, iTunes, Yellowhammer, and YellowhammerNews.com through their Facebook page. So many ways to check us out. We lay it down live every weekday morning from 7 until 9, but you can watch it on your schedule. So that's the great part about it. And watch, listen, run it through your Bluetooth in your vehicle. So many great ways to check it out, and we greatly appreciate it.
So the news of the day is not any. There's really nothing. The college sports bill did not get to the Senate floor, which they really wanted to do because lawmakers are now in recess until September. And, of course, midterm elections are coming up. So they're probably not spending a lot of time on legislation. They're spending a lot of time on re-election. So
Yeah.
that was a big target for the Protect College Sports Act. Wanted to get it done before its August recess, but, well, it ain't happening until September. So there's a lot of college sports leaders who have spent a lot of money and a lot of lobbying hours, and those are not cheap, trying to get a federal solution. And it looks like the lawmakers are not exactly motivated to get this thing done, and it certainly won't happen before the college football season begins.
No, it won't. And there again, more talk, no action. Why get your hopes up? Why think something's going to be different? Don't see it happening. Just another long delay. And well, I'm sure we'll have more discussions about it, and probably, after the elections, after the first of the year, who knows? I'm kind of done with that. Over it. I'm tired of talking about it. Just,
well,
when it happens, let me know.
John's kind of my barometer on that stuff, because as he rightly assumes and has his entire career, if I don't like it, nobody should like it. If I'm tired of it, everybody should be tired of it. And if you don't agree with my view on this, then you're wrong. So I kind of keep that going and thinking, well, in this particular case, I actually think he's right. People are getting ready for football. People are watching their teams, trying to figure out who all the new players are. If you're sitting around the water cooler and trying to talk to everybody about, hey, I really think John Mateer could be a Heisman Trophy winner at Oklahoma. Ooh, really? I know he's been working hard in the offseason. That nerdy guy with the plastic pocket protector over there is saying, hey, I bet they don't start work again on the Save College Sports Act until September the 14th. Everybody's looking around like, John, even if now there was great momentum going and there were plenty of nuanced items in there that could really help college football, nobody wants to talk about that. That's like when you get in front of everybody, you have John doesn't. Does anybody ever really have a spirited conversation about the state of the Cleveland Browns salary cap? Oh, man, have you seen all the cap space the Cowboys have got? They've already put so-and-so on, what do you call it? The protected list. He's our the franchise tag. See, we got this guy on the franchise tag. That frees up money for contracts in 2028 where, John, I can't even talk about that for a full segment because, number one, it's not sports. It doesn't have anything to do with sports. And number two, it's boring as heck, right?
Well, I think it's boring, but obviously ESPN doesn't because they have a program every afternoon called NFL Live. I think Laura Rutledge is the host, and they talk about subjects like that. You're asking, how do you know that? That's a good question because I'll channel surf from time to time. and I'll stumble upon it for 15 to 20 seconds, and they'll be talking about salary caps, things. I'm out, done, don't care. Who cares? Maybe if you're a Cleveland Browns fan and you're a junkie, you might, but the Denver Bronco fan doesn't care. But there again, to each his own, kind of like Springsteen. I guess some people out there do like that type stuff. I really, I follow the Saints, Barry. I couldn't tell you what their salary cap was if you gave me 100 chances to guess.
I couldn't tell you really exactly. I couldn't define it. Hey, Barry, can you explain the salary cap to me? Well, see, what it is a cap on salaries. You can't have a salary past this cap.
Uh-huh.
Well, who can't? The players can't? Every player? Certain players? I think one player can, but the rest of them cannot. And after that, I don't know. So we can, I mean, if you guys have a specific question, lay it on us about the salary cap, about the Protect College Sports Act, or about, the NIL cap proposed by the Protect College Sports Act, and where the school gets to pay some, but they also have others that private businesses get to pay them, but it has to be cleared by somebody somewhere. I think it's still the NCAA clearinghouse, but whatever. Whew.
Yeah, I can't discuss much with you about the salary cap.
Yeah,
I really can't. Or the trade deadline, for that matter. We talked about the trade deadline last week.
Passed right by.
Yeah,
I will tell you this. Just to put it in a big bowl. John and I both, when this thing came out, when some of these things came, we have been calling for national unanimity in the rules.
Yep.
NIL, transfer portal, all of the issues that are bedeviling college athletics. It doesn't need to be, well, you can do this in Texas. You can't do this in Idaho, but you can do it in Kentucky. You can't do it in Tennessee, though. It needs to be a national set of rules, which is where the federal government comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And anytime it comes down to the federal government, it is a crapshoot. And that's what's happened with this, John. They were hopeful to get it done. Again, there's a recess going on. I think it's 5 weeks. They're back again. I know, September the 14th. And so, there was a last minute reprieve. We thought it was going to be dead a week ago, but they gave them another week. And now that there's a chance, and who knows if it passes or not, I don't care. Politics happens.
Yeah.
The Congressional Black Caucus released a statement slamming the bill. More than a dozen Republican senators filed objections or amendments. Labor unions sent a joint letter of opposition. It's not Republican versus Democrat necessarily. It's a bipartisan bill, but Tuberville never liked it. President Trump was saying, come on, let's get this going. Let's stay in session until we get this done. And everybody's like, no.
Yeah.
I got that timeshare down at Navarre Beach. The wife and kids were already there. I can't wait, So basically, if you're thinking, well, is this a surprise? No, this is politics. And by definition, politics is slow and unwieldy. And I don't know if it ever comes up. I mean, if it ever gets signed,
if it does, let me know.
Yeah.
Because I've seen and heard enough of it. It's time to move on. A question here. I'm glad this was brought up. The quick answer, yes. Luganville will start. Let me look at my calendar so I can give you the exact date. Loogie is Tom Luganville for all of you newbies out there. I believe Luganville's first day will be the 31st of August, which is the Monday before the opening weekend, Barry, not the Thursday night Austin P games or the whatever else you mentioned during the first segment. Luganville's first appearance will be, and today is 3 weeks from today. And then y'all know what else you're asking. Lee Sterling Paramount Sports will be that Friday the 4th, which of course is the day before the first big games are slated to be kicked off. So yeah, that'll be a big week here on Longshore McKnight. Luganville on Mondays. Of course, Lee Sterling on Fridays. Ralph Michaels, yeah, exactly. He'll join us as well on Fridays during the season. So we're looking forward to that. So I appreciate the River Region Straw chat line asking about that today, because I've been wanting to mention that to our viewers and listeners, because I know that would be coming up. So
I love me some Luganville. He is going to be on a crew with Jay Alter and Lauren Sisler on ESPN. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Most of them have assignments.
I think, he's doing really predominantly ACC all season.
Yeah, and I think it's still Friday nights. He did a lot of those, did some Thursdays, including that debacle Troy at Old Dominion whenever I got a chance to get a selfie with him. But love me some Luganville.
Hey, for the record, Barry, just not to rip the Band-Aid off a sore wound, but I do think that was my biggest loss for Troy last year, was that Old Dominion game. And boy, how they lost it. Oh, wasn't looking good for me early. I can promise you that. But
and it was not looking good late either.
That was a tough one.
Well,
that was a tough one.
Other than that, what else is going on? The Canadian Open tennis.
Well, what about this? Look, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't watch NBA, or WNBA, and I know they put highlights on there. They're trying to promote it as much as they can. Are they fighting and kicking and screaming just to get people to watch it? Is that what the plan is there? I understand something happened over the weekend, some flagrant foul. The world's going berserk over it. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Because the world didn't even know the game's being played. And now two men want to go play in the WNBA?
That's Rex. One of them is Enes Kanter. He calls himself now Enes Kanter Freedom right now. He was a signee at Kentucky, but I think he went straight to the draft.
Yeah.
And never really panned out in the NBA. The other guy, can't think of his name right now. Tyron White, I think is his name. I could be wrong. All they are is test cases, because they say they fit every criteria for being eligible for the WNBA draft, and they're going to try to do that. It's just to see legally if they can. With
all this craziness going on, I'd kind of like to see maybe 2 games of that. Put those 2 guys in, let them play with the ladies, see how they feel about that. Well, wait a minute. It's a little different now. They're kind of dominating here.
By the way, Enes Kanter is about 6'10", 245, and athletic. He could score 90 a game if he wants to, honestly. And I love women's basketball. I do. I've done 100.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, not a lot of passing and dribbling and pick and rolls and games played below the rim.
I don't think that John is a chauvinist or anything like that.
No,
because there's been many times, usually to himself, John standing there on the tee box, swiping with one hand the grass behind where his tee just was, and thinking, golly, I'd love to be able to hit. What have I got to do to hit from the women's tees?
You know, Barry, I got a little quick golf note for you.
Yeah.
That you bring that up. Somebody pointed this out to me yesterday. I was at Lagoon Park playing golf yesterday with some folks. I mentioned that to the mayor the last time that he joined us. And it just, I'm amazed at the facility that Montgomery has here, a municipal public golf course. It really is in good shape. I'm not just telling you that. And I noticed as I was coming down 18, this lady was hitting some balls on the practice tee. I thought, wow, that lady really has a really good swing. And she's hitting that tee ball out there pretty good. I mean, obviously she knows the game. And so we're wrapping up, and somebody said, hey, did you see that lady that was in the pro shop? It was the same lady I noticed on the practice tee. I said, well, yeah, I kind of recognized her when I walked through there to wash my hands and clean up a little bit. And the guy told me she's playing the lead in the Carole King musical out at Alabama Shakespeare Festival. I went, what? You're kidding me? Because I saw her play. She can hit a golf ball. I'm telling you, the girl's talented. Then I looked at her, I saw her face, and then I came home, and my mother-in-law actually went to the performance yesterday. And I looked in there and went, oh, look at that. Oh, that is her. So, yeah, a little brush with greatness, if you will.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I had seen Carole King. The thing was going to be on at the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. My sister Jenny, who's in town, by the way, probably watching us right now. The theater professor at Indiana University.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of experience with the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, and
it's awesome.
Loves that over there. Go play golf on the municipal course and go out and
never know who you might run into.
Biopic.
Joe, I'm a big Dottie Pepper fan. I think she's great. She's the best course analyst out there. And that's what I mean by that. She's walking with the players. She's not in the broadcast booth like Jim Nantz. She's out there with the players. So yeah, I'm a big Dottie Pepper fan. I do like her.
So there is stuff going on over the weekend, but we have got.
I got a question. Barry.
What is it?
I'm gonna pose it when we get back from our bottom of the hour break. Because I'm there again, similar to what I said earlier today. I've been in this business for over 3 decades. Got a good feel for it, heard it, seen it, felt it. Something else has popped up as well. I just want some answers.
Yes. Somebody has texted, yes, that logo behind John's left ear is an Arkansas State Red Wolf logo. Just in case you're wondering. Nope, other side. There you go. See?
This is a Camellia Bowl, Barry.
Arkansas State.
2019. FIU and Arkansas State.
Yeah. He's broad-minded these days.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Just to be fair, because I'm going to talk about them when we get back. So let me put that ball in, and it's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about Auburn when we get back.
Broad-minded in his old age. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. You know, Barry, reading the River Region Straw chat line, here it is Monday, preseason camp. And I just couldn't help but think about my old friend Philip Marshall with the questions, the answering the questions himself. How will Auburn do this year? Who knows?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. Chris the Bammer. Hey, what did the Phantom do? Hey, what does PM have to say? He can't do that anymore. So Chris the Bammer can be a little repetitive, but we love him. Yeah. You know, same stuff every day. But again, the accent there is on every day. He's in every day. And if he's in every day, by gosh,
love it.
He can chat whatever he wants to chat.
Yes.
Coach Ed says, is this true? Yeah, Barry. One of John's buddies had a buy one, get one free green feed and cart coupon at Lagoon.
Well, actually, if you must know, Coach, it was a rain check. He'd been out there earlier and he couldn't go yesterday, and so he gave me his rain check.
Plausible. Yep. I hear that and I stamp it plausible. That is very, very, very likely. Okay. You may say.
I'm going to say this. I wouldn't like or dislike the course any more or less if I had to pay for it.
Whoa. You would not dislike it at least a little bit more if you had to shell out your own money? Am I paying for this? Well, John, it ain't the course's fault. Yeah, I know, but dang. Yeah. All right.
Here's my question.
A question? What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yet to answer, I do have an Alabama ball. It's behind the Auburn ball right now because we're going to talk a little bit about Auburn right now.
Please don't expect him to change autographed footballs behind him based upon whichever team he is dogging at the moment.
Yeah, that's going to be too much. Yeah. That can get a little confusing. So I'm hearing from Auburn supporters, Auburn podcasters,
oh, good Lord,
Auburn media people. The state media is biased. They've got it in for Auburn. I've been hearing that for over 3 decades. Can people tell me who these people are they're talking about? What media member wakes up and goes, ooh, I'm going to stick it to Auburn today? I want to know who those people are, because if they do say or write a report on something that might not be overly positive, like all of these podcasts are 100% of the time, all's great. Everything's fantastic. They get a little miffed about it. Their feathers get ruffled. But if you just look back, they're going to say something about your opponents as well, or write about it, or report about it that's not overly positive. I've seen it happen both ways, but I've been hearing it for decades. The media is biased. It's the Alabama media train. Did they read the stuff after the Rose Bowl game? Did they see any of the reports after the SEC championship game? Did they read any newspaper articles after the Florida State game? I guess they didn't. But you ruffle some feathers about a hotel stay. Oh, they don't like that. And the thing is, if Auburn does come out of the gate and slips and falls and loses to Baylor, they're going to be the same people using that as an excuse. Shouldn't have gone to the Marriott. Got soft.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is true. My only hot take on what John just said, besides it's overstated and overblown and not true, my only response to what John said is that basically Auburn fans, the fringe Auburn fans and the fringe Alabama fans are the same people.
Yeah.
They're the same. I mean, they're the ones that could have a day's worth of birthday cake and be like, red velvet. I don't like red velvet. Those kind of people. But I do have to try to get a definition of what we consider to be biased, because I know Alabama fans, dyed in the wool, they'll wear at least one piece of Alabama paraphernalia on their person every day. We had a producer like that. I mean, it would be a hat maybe one day, or a shirt one day, or socks one day, and a lot of days it would be hat, shirt, and socks. But that doesn't mean just because they love the Crimson Tide, can't hate on them now and again. You know, it ain't always got to be sunshine pumping, because I know some Bama fans that absolutely live and breathe and every morning say their prayers facing northwest towards Tuscaloosa. But they were ticked about the Rose Bowl. There's one who appears regularly on our chat line who loves the Crimson Tide, lives and breathes it, sometimes a little bit too much. But man, he is so sick and tired of Kalen DeBoer. He'll rent the U-Haul himself. He'll drive it up himself. He'll move it himself, and he'll pay for the gas himself.
Here's a perfect example.
Relentlessly positive is not the only way to be a true big-time biased homer.
Yeah. I'm going to throw this name out there, and I know that I'm sure there's a lot of people in this audience that don't care for this man. Don't watch him. Don't listen to him. But he's out there. And he is a very public figure. And he is on platforms all over the place, sports and politics. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith of ESPN, probably one of their most highest paid personalities.
Yes.
He went on a rant last week about Kalen DeBoer. I mean, the television was in flames. I mean, he is ripping him left and right. And Stephen A. is a huge Nick Saban fan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But he is not a Kalen DeBoer fan. Now, that was some very negative national publicity, if you will. If publicity can be negative, that was it. It was not very positive at all. I'm sure within the Malmore Athletic Center, they don't like that type. They don't want the nation hearing people say DeBoer's over his head. He's soft. Team's not tough enough. They don't want people to hear that. But the whole world heard it out of the biggest mouth out there. Is that media bias? Is ESPN biased negatively toward Alabama? You kind of have to say they are. Their biggest personality certainly is.
Whew.
But some writer at AL.com says something about getting soft at a spa staycation, and the place goes berserk. Oh, the Alabama media is biased. And it was always revolving around the Birmingham Post-Herald.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Birmingham News. I'm thinking, who are these people? Feinbaum was always an easy target. But if you followed Feinbaum's career over the last 30-plus years, woo, you talking about sizzling Mike Price, Mike Dubose, Mike Shula,
yeah.
Dennis Franchione. Oh, my Lord. I mean, it was so hot. You had to have gloves to read the paper. But these young bucks out there,
they were reading the
do
paper.
This new stuff, they don't even know what I'm talking. Who? What are you talking? Feinbaum used to write for the paper? Really? Yeah. I've read it both ways.
I didn't realize all that about Stephen A. Smith, but this is what he said. A little bit of it. It's Alabama. If you don't like it, get the heck out of town. It's just that simple. You've got to know what job you're accepting. If this was before Nick Saban arrived, there would be minimal, if any, expectations at all. Ooh. But when a man rolls up into town, wins 6 national championships, and his last 5 years at the school, he lost as many games as you lost in your first 2 on the job, you got a problem. Kalen DeBoer arrives and you lose 4 games in back-to-back years, your first 2 games. Kalen, you had a chance to go get the Michigan job. You should have took it. Had a chance to go get the Penn State job. You should have took it. Guess what? You're at Alabama. Get the heck over it. It's just that simple. And I've been very, very critical of this man because of that reason, and here's the reason why. You can't have back-to-back 4-loss seasons at Alabama. You can't get blitzed in the playoffs 38-3 and waving the white flag. This is Alabama we're talking about here. Sounds like another media member and stuff that he's been saying before.
Well,
sounds
Stephen
like
A.
somebody else
content.
I know.
Hey, man, you got any good stuff for me? Hey, Stephen A., go with this today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, make sure you mention how they waved the white flag late, very obviously.
Now, don't specifically say, tell me what's different with this team today from what you saw in Pasadena. That they're going to know you got that from me if you say that.
Here's something that's worked for me consistently, Stephen A. Mention the word, because I love this word, mention the word alpha dog. Alpha dog is a great word. I love saying it all. Man, alpha dog.
Yeah.
I
never heard that till Saban said it.
The Auburn aspect of it, listen, when Alabama's rolling, I mean, this state is awash in crimson and white. I mean, Alabama's rolling and Auburn, well, it's been a long time since Auburn's been any good at all, but if they were, it would be a wash in Alabama. And there are people out there, it don't matter what Auburn does. They could win a game 35-10 over an SEC Blue Blood, and somebody would say, man, those 10 points. Golly, I don't see any reason why in the world they gave up those 10 points. And a lot of those people are Auburn fans out there. There's no question, and I have always stood on this, and it's just a fact. I'm not crying about it. I'm not hoping that to affect change or anything, but it is an Alabama-dominated media in the state of Alabama. You just got to work around
that. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, all I want is examples. That's all I'm looking for. Give me some names of people that are just blinded and everything's positive. I mean, I'm not talking about, websites that specifically cater to a particular school. And I know today compared to 30 years ago when it was the Birmingham News and the Post-Herald and the Montgomery Advertiser and the Huntsville Times and the Mobile Register, there were people that sports editors, sports writers, beat writers. It was a lot bigger deal with newspapers back then than it is today. But they're still out there. There's some influencers, if you will. Who are they? Because, believe me, I've had more people over my years. Hey, man, why'd you say that about Alabama? Or you got to tone that down about the Tide. I'm thinking, why? What am I saying that isn't true? Well, but it just doesn't. It's not a good image.
Recruits are anyway.
Yeah. The old guy that called us up raising hell. Hey, you shouldn't say that. Recruits listen to you, and they might not go to Alabama because you're talking negatively about the program. I said, buddy, if a 17, 18-year-old kid's making his decision based on what I say, you don't want him anyway.
He ain't going to be. He ain't real solid for your team in the first place. I will say this, and that's kind of the change in there. That's kind of one of the positive aspects of what we're talking about. Is the media has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are probably, I don't know, probably fewer people on the entire newspaper staff than there were in the sports staff. And some of our, you got some newspapers who've got like 10 guys, 10 people, 8 people in big newspaper and the whole thing. You got, it's not the same. Everything now is getting into the micro broadcasting. This Auburn guy is having his own show, and you can watch it or not watch it. You can agree on this Alabama guy's got his own show, and he's going to be talking about Alabama. There's no need for fairness or evenness and everything. This is my show. This is what people are watching. Some people may take it to be the gospel truth. Some people may think they're full of beans. That's the big difference is there's not.
Barry, I knew what I was getting into when I hunkered down and what's Phillip got today? I knew what I was getting, but I wanted to read it anyway. And I knew it was pro-Auburn. Everything's great. How will Auburn do this year? Only time will tell.
Yep.
That's what I wanted. I knew what I was getting, and I couldn't get enough of it.
That's the way. I mean, I'm that way. I like hearing the stuff about my school and my team and what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. You're watching, the local TV news, and they got like high school stuff on there, and they're talking about, hey, June, check out this video of a squirrel that's water skiing, and I want to see only the things I want to see. That's one of the dangers of the media world in which we currently live in, is you're a little bit tunnel visioned out there. And, I don't want to listen to that guy because he said something mean about Alabama. I'm only going to watch this guy. And then later on, when your team does get beat by 7 touchdowns at the Rose Bowl, you're on the chat line with Longshore McKnight saying, but all those podcasts said that we were great.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Well, like I said, if Baylor happens to beat Auburn in week 1, all these Auburn podcasters, that's what they're going to say. Shouldn't have been at the Marriott. Got soft. Yeah. I knew it.
Now, is it true or not?
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, the winds will change. They'll have a different attitude, and I get it. Everything's rosy and happy and great. We need subscribers, so we're going to say everything positive about our school that we cover because we don't want you to get mad at us and cancel your subscription. So everything's going to be wonderful and great. And then if we do lose, we'll come up with a way to kind of smooth it over and kind of make it better. But, Barry, I remember in the days people would call up Raising Cane about, well, I picked up the paper on Sunday after the game, and there were more articles about Alabama in it than there were about the Auburn game.
Mm-hmm.
People would actually get a ruler and measure how much.
Column inches, yeah. The columm inches.
Kidding me?
The Montgomery Advertiser and, the Birmingham News and all this kind of stuff. And they're grown people.
Yes.
Grown people doing this type
Oh, my Lord. I mean, hey, believe me, we still get it at CBS 8. Wait a minute. Y'all talked about Auburn tonight. You didn't say anything about Alabama.
Well, they didn't start practice yet.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I want some Bama video up there.
That's exactly
that'll
right.
be next week. We'll do that next week for you. Just hold your horses. So.
Run me some old TJ Yeldon video if you ain't got any of the current, that type of thing. Well,
I just want to know who these people are. Barry, there was an article over the weekend from a state media member, columnist for one of the outlets, questioning and basically ripping Kalen DeBoer for not already announcing who the starting quarterback is. What are you waiting on? Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, why are you tip-tap dancing around this? Very critical that it should have already been done. That's not very positive. Questioning
that's the
head
dumbest
coach.
thing I've ever heard, too.
Questioning the head coach. You need to go ahead and do it. What are you waiting on? That's not very positive. Anybody upset about that? People raising Cain over some columnist opinion about what he thinks a coach should be doing?
Preventing these two guys from continuing to compete? Giving the job to somebody without a full balance of work? That seemed like the American way to me. And I do think that there's somebody in the lead right now. But does that not mean somebody else can work really, really hard and have a good scrimmage and da-da-da and all that and win the job because of their own merits and the quality of their work? No, you need to give it to him in the summer. Give it to him, not earn. That's what coaches say that I think is legit, that a lot of fans just don't pay attention to. Man, if somebody comes up and just shows out and absolutely takes the job, hey, let's do it. I mean, it ain't got to be me making a value judgment. If somebody comes out and just outplays the other guy, I'll never forget this. I think about this all the time. Something from Gene Stallings.
Mm-hmm.
I read a story one time. He was the coach at Alabama, and he had a player on his team. This is years ago, obviously. Most of you may not know him. He was a defensive back named Willie Gaston.
Oh, yeah.
I tell this story all the time. John knows who. Good player, right?
Yep.
Not going to be an NFL star or anything, but had a chance. And he was telling the story one time. Willie Gaston called him. He was at the Oilers training camp. And he called Stallings and said, man, it's tough here. Boy, I really got my hands full and everything. What do I need to do in order to give myself the best chance to make the roster? Stallings says, well, you just take the worst guy out there and do everything better than him. There's something to be said for competition out there. And if you give somebody the job, like I get giving Cam Newton the job over whatever Barrett Trotter or whoever it was, I get that. But if there's not a clear-cut winner, let them fight it out. That I got no problem with that, and I would be one of those to be in line. With that.
Interesting
about got to go ahead and give him the job. Why? Why give him
the interesting thing about the Cam and who did he beat out? Who was that guy you said?
Heck, I said Barrett Trotter, but it might not have been. I don't know.
I mean, but based on what we saw in the spring game, it looked like a competition to me. I think Cam ran like 3 plays. And 2 of them were handoffs.
Yeah, didn't want anybody to know what they had. Because that was the stuff in spring. I'll never forget that because I was doing an Auburn. Yeah, I was doing an Auburn-Troy baseball game at Troy. And I got there early, and it was in the spring when they're having spring practice. And they're walking to Jordan-Hare from Sewell Hall, which goes right by the baseball field. And I looked at this guy He was wearing a green number 2 jersey. And I mean, I'm tall, but he was like, dude. And I asked Rod, I said, who is that guy? He said his name is Cameron Newton. Everybody called him Cameron Newton before they were. Cameron Newton. His name is Cameron Newton. He's a JUCO guy. Coach loves him. Really? Cameron Newton? Good Lord, that guy's a monster. He said, don't say anything about him. Because they knew what they had. Anyway, so there is something to be said for, again, everybody is not biased if all they do is sunshine pump. Because I know dyed-in-the-wool Bama fans who are critical as can be of their team all the time. So,
yeah, I mean, I've been criticized of it myself. People, May, you went to school there. You're a graduate of Alabama. How can you say those things? Is it not
against
true?
the law?
Well, yeah, but you still don't need to say it.
I heard you say that the other day. Well, yeah, but a good get, Brett from Beauregard. That's right. It was Neil Caudle. There were so many guys who went to the Elite 11 quarterbacks at Auburn that never ended up panning out. Neil Caudle was a good guy. So anyway, let's take a time out. It's the time of the hour. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Second live hour of the show is coming up on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The more you play, the more chances you have to win during Diamond Days all summer long at Victoryland Casino. Win diamond jewelry and your share of $105,000 in free play. Also all summer long, it's TV Tuesdays. Win TVs and your share of $80,000 in free play. Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days and TV Tuesdays with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. After the top of the hour, hour number 2 underway here on this Monday. Glad you're with us here on the program, Longshore and McKnight. A lot of good conversation so far today. I asked the question just a moment ago, who are these biased media members? That's what I'm looking for. Who are the biased media members in the state that seem to always pick on one school over another?
I haven't thought about this in this context, and I probably should have, when we were down in Tampa and just swamped with media members from all over the nation. But columnists, beat writers, newspapers, John, I used to could name every one. Opelika Auburn News, it was Perry Ballard, a Montgomery Advertiser. It was Philip Marshall for a while, Birmingham News, Birmingham Post-Herald, Mobile Press Radio. I knew them all, including the columnists, including the beat writers and all that. You'd see them at the press conferences and all that because they're the ones, wearing the 25-year-old shirts and the hush puppies, right? I don't know that I can actual newspapers, newspaper guys. I can't, not only can I not name the biased people, the podcast, like John said, the guys on the podcast, yeah, okay. That's why whenever whoever it is, Mo Tide Pride or whatever says, all these Auburn podcasters, they're a bunch of course they are, you know? I mean, if you don't like them, don't have to listen to them.
They're
but as
trying
far
to
as
sell their product.
Newspaper guys, I'm not sure I can name one.
Yes, if you believe the media is biased, tell me who they are. Who are the media? Who are the biased media members? The Alabama media machine. Who is it? Now I know a lot of people.
Machine, small m, small m machine.
You know, a lot of people would point to something like AL.com, which is basically a lot of these newspapers from around the state that have pooled their resources together. Birmingham, Huntsville, Mobile, maybe another one, another town. But, the Press Register, the Birmingham News, the Huntsville Times kind of all came together, formed this thing. And this is what I was talking about over the weekend. This isn't very flattering. This is negative. Alabama had their media day over the weekend. How many media days do we need? We just have one in Tampa. Do we need another one? I mean, the coaches talk about every other day. Now they're letting the coordinators talk to the media as well. But they had a media day up there, and Joseph Goodman from AL.com, who I think wrote something about the soft spa-like atmosphere at the Marriott that got people rattled, wrote a piece over the weekend about, are Alabama quarterbacks really this fragile? Alabama's got two quarterbacks, and neither one had the courage to talk to reporters on Saturday. It was media day for the Crimson Tide, and the faces of the program were hidden away like fragile little bird eggs. Don't even look at them, said Mama Bird Kalen DeBoer. They might break. Everyone knew Alabama was soft after that 38-3 loss to mighty Indiana. The hope was that this fall camp was going to galvanize all those well-paid players. Instead, we're left to believe that the Tide has two quarterbacks who might crack under pressure of a few softball questions from reporters. Wow. That doesn't sound very positive to me.
No.
Cracking, thin-skinned.
Yeah.
When it's 4th and 2 and you got to move the sticks, you can't be thin-skinned.
Well, that's like John and I had this conversation many, many years ago. Being balanced does not mean being unfair to both sides. You're taking a cheap shot at this team, taking a cheap shot at that team. I don't think you're necessarily soft because you're staying at the Marriott, and I don't think you're necessarily soft because you have the media day. And that's just, take pictures, get videos and all that kind of stuff. I mean, nobody's expecting it to be a presidential press conference or anything like that. So that's a little bit unfair. So if you're unfair to Auburn on Friday, you're unfair to Alabama on Sunday. Yeah. Does that mean you are balanced right down the middle? You're doing exactly right. Not necessarily. So,
and do media members there again? I don't know. Most of them I know really don't care. Doesn't float. They're not sitting up at night staring at the ceiling. But I wrote this column about Auburn, and got people ruffled and all bent out of shape. Maybe I need to write something similar about Alabama, about their quarterbacks being soft and not being able to face the media. Now, you know how I read that, Barry? Here's a media member that got his lip poked out that he didn't get to talk to the two players that the fans are talking the most about.
Yep.
So you know what, dadgummit, I'm going to show Kalen DeBoer. If I can't talk to who I want to talk to, then I'm going to let him know about it.
Because that's their only recourse. That's their only way to fight back. Because you say, hey, man, I requested to be able to talk with Kalen DeBoer, and he wasn't showing up.
Yeah.
You email that off to the media relations department. You're fortunate if you get a response. But by gosh, I can rip them on my whatever. See, the whole thing, it used to be a much better argument back in the day because the media was so much different.
Oh, yeah.
Now the media is just whatever you choose to consume. If you're an Auburn fan, well, let's say this. If you're an Alabama fan, are you going over on the Auburn websites and looking at their, well, never mind. That's a bad example. If you're an Alabama fan, are you going to auburn247.com and, well, yeah, of course you are. Never mind. All right, bad example. All right, if you're an Auburn fan, are you looking on TigerInsider.com? Are you paying the $48 a year just so you can see what the Crimson Tide fans are talking about? Yeah.
You know what?
If you've got something about it on Auburn 247 that you Bama fans pay a subscription to, and you see something good in there, hey, look what the Aubs are doing now. Are you copying and pasting it and sending it to John's cell phone?
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
that's why media is different.
And what I find just, I have to chuckle. I have to laugh. These people that get all bent out of shape and get their, feathers ruffled about, oh, this media is biased or this guy's a turd. I can't believe he said that about our school. Well, you're going to see him in the press box. They're not going to revoke his media pass. He'll be there. And if you got a problem with him, go say something. Instead of hiding behind your microphone and your keyboard in your little studio, then go up and say, hey, buddy, I don't like the way you're talking about my school. Do it. You're not going to. And I saw it with Feinbaum. He was an equal offender. Back in his heyday, he could throw some zingers out there. And
people
I sat next
so daggum mad.
Yeah, they go berserk. And I sat next to Paul for several seasons in Alabama football games. Nobody came up to him saying they're going to kick his ass.
Yeah.
He got up and went to the food line and picked up a Coke just like everybody else. He walked outside at halftime and yucked it up with some buddies of his. Nobody approached him. But they take a shot at him. Man, I can't believe what he said. Can't believe he wrote that this week. Same thing right now. They're going to be at Jordan Hare. They're going to be at Bryant Denny. You got a perfect opportunity to go up and say something if it really bothers you that much. If they're that biased and it bothers you, then say something to them. But you won't. Not about to. And the university's not going to revoke their media credential. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
So, what is there to report? I mentioned, Auburn's back and forth. Everybody this week, I'll say everybody, because if anybody is not getting into full contact by today, they're not doing it right. That's my opinion. You have got to start hitting. You've got to start hitting it again. And for most everybody, and I've checked, that's today. For anybody else, it's by tomorrow. I mean, full pads, getting after it. That's what it's. There are jobs to win. Now, the quarterbacks are not going to get, hit. There are going to be scrimmages coming up this week. Quarterbacks will be non-contact, but they'll be full speed. And that's what's to watch for Auburn. They've got, they'll have referees. They got referees in some of their practices.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're playing so fast that you want to make sure, hey, we get this right, you get this play over with, you run back up there, get ready to snap the next play, don't want any false starts, don't want any offsides, all this kind of stuff. So this is what's happening. This is the first week where you're really going to have some opportunity for separation, where you're going to have some real chances to win the job, because nobody wins the job in shorts and shells. Nobody's winning the job there. And for a media member to say, hey, you got to go ahead and give him the job. No, it's how you do when the pads are popping. I never loved contact. I was always tall and skinny when I was a kid, and I would always hurt. But I would play. I was a decent player when I was healthy, but I never loved contact. This is how you separate things. You got to have people who love football out there. And Bob from Pike Road. This is where you find the people who love football, who get hit again. Cody Sigler, who's a defensive tackle for Auburn, a transfer from Arkansas State. That's the reason why he's at Auburn. He's not a super talented player. I've called his games for 3 years at Arkansas State when they played Troy, and he's a good player. But you know what they love about him at Auburn is, man, he's ready for more. That's how you win jobs. And that's what's happening this week. That's the value of this week coming up.
Oh, yeah. It is. But I think Alabama fans maybe got a little, or maybe this writer, when Ryan Grubb back in the spring, this guy's our starting left tackle. Oh, yeah. Already going to go ahead and tell you right now, he's the guy. Everybody's going, wait a minute. Is he not going to battle it out for that position? Offensive coordinator said he's our man.
That's a fair point.
Should they go ahead and say that about the quarterback position? I got to there again. The players know they got a good feel.
Mm-hmm.
They got a pretty good feel of who's going to be the starter. I'm sure the coaches do too.
Which is why, and that's a fair point to bring up. Well, how can you name a starter at left tackle already? And you can't, name a starter at that. His name's Jackson Lloyd. He is a redshirt freshman. And you think, well, how can you name that starter at left tackle back in the spring and you can't name a starter at quarterback by now? That's a fair question. Tells me two things. Number one is that there ain't much competition at left tackle, right? I mean, there ain't nobody really challenging him there. And believe me, if somebody had a great end of spring and somebody comes in and is kicking behind at left tackle in the fall, they can win the job. That tells me that right now they ain't got a whole lot at left tackle that's going to challenge this redshirt freshman kid, right? Quarterback, I think it's kind of a moot point anyway. I think they'll be pretty good, really, really good with either of those guys. But it's important. It's important, particularly if it's an even competition and you got one guy who's in his fifth year and one guy who's in his second. I'd go with a guy who's in his second year and can maybe play 3, full years after that. So that's a fair point out there. And there are positions, I hope, at Alabama along the offensive line that do have some competition, because goodness knows they need him. You've got a transfer guy at center that's won the job from Cal Poly.
St. Louis Obispo?
Does that tell you anything about the competition at center? A guy from Cal Poly, which is an FCS school in San Luis Obispo, California.
There's a lot of NFL teams littered with guys. That guy played where? Huh? Didn't Steve Bartkowski play at Portland State or something?
Neil Lomax. Asked that. Bartkowski played at Cal.
Okay.
William Sanders at left guard.
Yeah.
Javen James, who played at Mississippi State at right tackle. Rayson Delgatti, Michael Carroll. Michael Carroll was a starter last year as a freshman. That can't be all they got. I hope. I don't know. I know the left tackle, Lloyd, has already won the job there. I hope there's more competition. I hope all those other guys haven't already won jobs there, because that ain't good. I'm just saying.
Tobias, I can't comment on this, but let's keep this under the radar.
John, will your informant be at the scrimmage on Saturday?
Tobias, I can't confirm nor deny that. Wait a minute, I'm going Fauci. I'm taking the fifth on that. No comment.
That's like saying, hey, Charles de Gaulle, will there be French resistance members at the provisional government Congress they're having in Vichy for the Germans? What? No.
It's the name of the airport.
If he were to say yes,
CDG.
that would mean immediately there would be heightened security at the Alabama scrimmage.
Cannot comment on that, Tobias. But be listening a week from today. I will tell you that. Make sure you watch.
Be listening on the other side of this break, because it is the red hot Phantom's Daily Dog next. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey,
I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie and it's done.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. All righty, 21 minutes past the hour here on this Monday with Longshore and McKnight. Steve Bartkowski, Barry, I'm told, on the VIP River Region Straw chat line, was on the Cal team that Alabama beat 66-3. That game, if my memory serves me correct, was played at night at Legion Field. Earlier that afternoon, Auburn played, I believe, Oregon State at Legion Field. It was a double header with Auburn in the afternoon and Alabama at night.
See, he's right. He's right. With all that, let's see. That would have been about 74 or something like that.
I think so.
It's a great point. It is factually correct. Here's the deal, though. Steve Bartkowski's 73 years old now. I've actually interviewed Steve Bartkowski before at the golf event they had for Youth for Christ back at Saugahatchee Country Club in Opelika. Great player, with the Atlanta Falcons. His last year with the Atlanta Falcons was 1985. Do the math.
Yep.
That is 41 years ago. So you can excuse John for thinking Steve Bartkowski played at Portland State back whenever Three's Company and Happy Days were gracing the TV screens. Kids out there right now, you don't have to look that stuff up because we got it. Now, John could not tell you who the starting quarterback was for Michigan when they won the national championship under Jim Harbaugh a couple of years ago, but by gosh, he can tell you who the quarterback was for Cal 41 years ago when they lost,
66-3
against the Crimson Tide.
Yeah. They also, Vince Ferragamo, Chuck Muncie, Wesley Walker, they were Cal Bears.
Yep, but Ferragamo later played for Nebraska. That's where he had most.
Was he the Rams quarterback? He played for the LA Rams? Yeah.
Yes. Back when they were the L.A. Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody
said don't forget about Charlie's Angels, too. I was never a big Charlie's Angels fan. I was a $6 million Man fan.
Which came like right afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyway, 40 years ago. Let's get into something
do it.
That's germane, that's applicable right now, and that is the Phantom's Daily Dog. The people in Vegas call this a heater. Boy, that guy's on a heater. Golly.
You might have noticed on the River Region Straw chat line, no little jabs, no little needles.
Which is fine.
Biased River Region Straw chat line members.
But also, there's no, hey, man, Phantom, congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Hey, guys, have you been checking out the Phantom? Boy, he's been really good. There's none of that.
No.
There's none of that either, which is a little bit on the disappointing side.
It is.
That's just human
You're
nature.
right. You're right. Well, Barry, on Friday, we had the San Francisco Giants hosting the Detroit Tigers in a little interleague action. Barry, we didn't even know who was going to pitch for San Francisco.
It don't matter.
I said, don't matter. I don't care.
It don't matter.
No, I'll take whoever they throw out there.
Yep, that was the Friday morning show. And sometimes a Phantom will go, into the weekend. He'll certainly get into the weekend with picks when it comes to football, but he did not take the weekend. He took the Friday night game between the Tigers and the Giants in San Francisco.
That's true.
That game was decided by the fifth inning.
Oh, yeah.
It was over with after that. It was 5-2 after 5, and it was 5-2 after 9. The win went to the San Francisco Giants and the stellar Adrian Hauser. Adrian Hauser gets the win for the Giants.
That's right.
To go to 3-7 on the season.
Yeah, he could have been Doogie Hauser.
Yes.
Did not matter.
Could have been Dick Hauser.
That's right. 5-2 was the win at plus 105, cashing another ticket for you people out there. Really appreciate 4-1 was the record last week. 4 wins, only 1 loss. 2-week total of 7-2. We didn't have a game a couple of Mondays ago. I was out, but the last 9 selections, 7 of the 9 have hit. So we're going to keep going with it today.
Gotcha.
Now, Barry, have we figured out what ESPN Unlimited is?
No, I have not. I should know this. I do work for ESPN. I don't know. Is it ESPN Plus? ESPN Plus, you can get anything.
Maybe they've changed the name from ESPN Plus to ESPN Unlimited.
If they have, that's what I do my work on. They haven't sent me the memo. Maybe they're telling me something.
That is where it's listed.
Okay.
Tonight, 8:40 in San Diego. Matter of fact, they were on last night. I saw San Diego playing last night. Had a great crowd at the game.
Yeah, 8:40.
We went against this guy the last time we had a game involving the Padres. We're going with him tonight at home. Casey Mize,
former Alb.
That's a
misnomer.
The hill against Logan Henderson of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now I get it. Milwaukee's really good.
Yeah, they're the best team in the National League. They're even having a better year than the Braves are.
Yeah, 74-44, won 7 of their last 10. They're on a 2-game winning streak. But hey, the San Diego Padres have won 7 out of their last 10, 2-game winning streak of their own. Only 8.5 behind the red-hot Dodgers, who many people think are going to win the World Series.
Yes.
But I don't really know much about Logan Henderson. Don't know much about him.
He's had a good record.
Yeah.
He's 6-1, ERA 2.70. Okay. He's only walked 10 men all year.
Wow. Only 10 walks?
Yeah.
Barry, that leads me to believe that it's going to be a faster paced game tonight. Is he striking them out or are these guys hitting on him?
He is averaging 6 strikeouts for every walk. That is a fantastic ratio, by the way.
Not bad. But Casey Mize, got a little taste of what it was to be a Padre. Now he's settled in.
Agreed.
So now we're going to go with San Diego at home at a slight underdog at plus 103. San Diego plus 103, 840 is the first scheduled pitch for the game. It is on ESPN Unlimited if you'd like to check that out. But where we are, we're going with the Padres and the former Auburn pitcher. What do you think?
I like it. I do like it. I think Mize is a good fit down in San Diego. The Brewers are good, though. I might not have picked that game, but if you're picking it, I like that one.
If I was a really talented baseball player and got drafted, San Diego's a place I'd like to play.
No doubt. I've broadcast from there before, right next to the park where the Padres play in. The whole place is great. That's awesome that Brick Tamblyn was the weather forecaster for the TV station down in San Diego on Anchorman, because you can be an idiot and still get the weather right in San Diego. Today it's going to be sunny and hot. Tomorrow we're looking for sunny skies, hot temperatures. There you go. That is the Phantoms
Daily Dog
on the program. And Robbie from Greenville is here.
I see that.
One of the many things we love about Robbie on the chat line is this ability, John. I take it here. First chat from Robbie. He sleeps in a little bit. It's 8:30.
Yep. Okay.
He says, all right, get this. He says, Ty Simpson is certainly having a preseason camp for the Rams. Perfect situation for him. Rams is my pick to win Super Bowl 61 over Denver. Matt Stafford retires a Super Bowl champion.
Oh.
I like that. Chris the Bammer says, hey, better late than never. Robbie is here. Later on, 1 minute later, Robbie says, hey, the Simpson camp has been great for the Rams. Great situation for Simpson. Rams over Denver in Super Bowl 61. Matt Stafford retires a Super Bowl champion. In the space of 1 minute, he writes 2 different chats, John, that say exactly the same thing.
But he wants to make sure they get read.
Ty Simpson's having a preseason camp for the Rams. Perfect situation for him. Rams win the Super Bowl. Stafford retires Super Bowl champion. 1 minute later, hey, Simpson's camp's been great for the Rams. Great situation. Rams over Denver in Super Bowl. Stafford retires a Super Bowl champion. Sometimes it's volume that wins the day.
You know, Robbie, I've seen a lot of these preseason NFL quarterback rankings, and people will tell you, you better have a good quarterback in the NFL if you're going to win the Super Bowl. If you're going to win it all, you better really have a good quarterback.
The days of Trent Dilfer are over.
Yeah, no doubt. I know there's a lot of love for Bo Nix and his days at Oregon. Actually, I liked him at Auburn. You know, getting in arguments with the offensive coordinator.
My gosh, that's his entire legacy at Auburn, was that he once had a vigorous exchange with his offensive coordinator, and something about his QBR rating that John never understood, but he sure would reference.
Yeah. Well, you saw how that rating vastly improved
when he left Auburn.
Just saying. I don't see Bo Nix on anybody's top 10 when it comes to NFL quarterback. Nothing against the kid. Don't get me wrong. But most of these so-called experts, we went over this a couple of weeks ago, Barry. I think ESPN had a column, had Josh Allen at 1, Patrick Mahomes. You know, then you got Matt Stafford of the Rams, who Robbie just mentioned. Joe Burrow, I think he's rated too high. Lamar Jackson. For some reason, they stick Dak Prescott in there. I guess you just have to.
He had such a good year last year.
Because he plays for the Cowboys.
Such a good year.
But I'm not seeing Bo Nix anywhere on here. Hey, look, nothing against the kid. I like him.
I just figured I'd bring him up out of the blue about how he's not getting any respect.
Yeah, but NFL guys that follow the league, they just, you know, even Colin Cowherd, who's a huge Sean Payton fan, love Sean Payton. I think they've gone out for dinner several times, had a couple of pops. And I like Sean Payton, too. He won a Super Bowl in New Orleans. Made the famous line when they had the Super Bowl parade down Canal. He said he was already 6 Bud Lights in. It's a great line.
Yeah. Always
Sponsored
drink
product,
responsibly,
by the way.
though. Yeah.
But
Always
Robbie, you
drink
got to have a good quarterback if you're going to win the Super Bowl. And I don't think Denver's got it right now. That's just my 2 cents, Robbie.
Well, how about this? Let's extend that point a little bit. Seems obvious because pro football is such a quarterback-driven thing. I mean, everything's about the quarterback. Tobias says, you are correct, Barry, and I'll add this. The days of Trent Dilfer are over. Yeah. I'll add this. The days of winning a national title with a Greg McElroy-level quarterback are over.
Wow.
As well.
So, I think about that, Barry, and you might have to do a little quick research on this.
Of course I do.
But that national championship game that Alabama beat Texas and Colt McCoy got hurt. Yeah, I know. I've heard the whole story. But he didn't play defense either.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Never one without the other.
Who threw more passes in their national championship game? Greg McElroy or Jay Barker?
Well, I think Jay Barker threw 9. Greg McElroy.
Did he?
Who, by the way, he was less than 100%. He had a rib injury that he got in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
McElroy playing quarterback for Alabama against Texas in the Rose Bowl for the national championship. Alabama wins it by 16. Nick Saban's first natty. McElroy, 6 of 11 for 58 yards.
11 attempts.
6 completions, 5 incompletions. All right, so 11 attempts.
Let me write that down.
For
6
McElroy.
of 11. All right, for McElroy. Okay.
Jay Barker. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. All right, this is going to take a moment longer. 13. Oh, you got to give me.
Yeah. Jeff says Barker's championship game stats were worse than that.
They were. They were. Yeah.
I'm not sure he threw 6 passes, much less completed them. And some of the passes that he threw, I remember looking back at that game, watching. Yeah. I'm going,
Barker.
Oh, wow.
No. Barker had more attempts.
Oh, no way.
He had more attempts. What did we say about McElroy? He was 6 of 11 for 58.
Yeah.
Barker. How did they? Okay. All right. Jay Barker.
Yep.
Sugar Bowl over Miami, January 1st, 1993. 4 of 13 for 18 yards. 4 for 13.
Man, they threw the ball 2 more times than McElroy did.
And he had 2 fewer completions. Wow.
That's
horrendous.
That is pretty rough.
He was hoisting that trophy
great
when it was over with.
Yeah, he was. Right. He sure was. Bear, I've said it for years. Stats are for chumps. So what?
Did you win it?
Overrated.
Yeah. He's sitting there. He's got that national championship ring. Both of them do. Kids are admiring it. It's insured. You got it in a safety deposit box when you're not having it out for a public. People don't care.
No, they don't. And I'm not picking on Barker because I knew his passing stats were not great. But the thing that I remember the most about that game, he ran like a student body right play down around the goal line, like inside the 10, maybe even closer than that. And the backside defensive end ran him down for Miami. I'll never forget
from behind.
Yeah, I'm thinking, wait a minute. This guy's coming from over here, and you're going over here, and he still ran you down? Wait a minute. What's up with that?
Again, that was 34 years ago
it
now,
was.
Of course.
Yes, it was.
Gino Torretta, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback for Miami, threw 4 interceptions the entire year.
Yeah.
He threw 3 in that game. And that broke Miami's 29-game winning streak.
Now, on the River Region Straw VIP text hotline, Barry, I'm told that in the 1980 Sugar Bowl, Stedman Shealy threw for 70 yards. Back in 1980, throwing for 70 yards was throwing for like 700.
For that Alabama.
They're running the triple option. They got Major Ogilvy scoring his 4th touchdown in 4 straight bowl games. They're throwing the Stedman Shealy threw it. No way.
The 40s.
You go back to that Penn State game, I've got to think that those passing numbers were similar to Jay Barker and Greg McElroy in the goal line stand Sugar Bowl.
Again, 46 already in this hour. If you're less than 40 years old, I'm afraid we've lost you.
But
we're going Steve Bartkowski. We're going Gino Toretta. I should have never brought that up. Jay Barker. And now John goes Stedman Shealy, who has got to be about 68 years old right now.
Oh, older than that.
Kids,
Stedman.
Hang in there, kids. Hang in there. We'll get something from this millennia real soon.
Stedman's got to be about in his 70s. No, he's my brother's age. But you look at, my point being, though, you look at the Tuas and the Bryces and all these other quarterbacks, they're slinging it all over the lot. Totally different game. You look at that goal line Penn State game, goal line stand, you're going, did they ever throw the ball? I mean, every play was the same. Over. And like Herschel Walker at Georgia. They're playing Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. I don't think Georgia threw the ball the whole game.
Herschel was playing with a separated shoulder. Well, let's get back to the 21st century when we come back.
Yeah.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Longshore and McKnight are brought to you in part by Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford in Montgomery, and Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. For the absolute best on-site selection, service, and price, no other dealer can match Stivers. Stivers Ford in Montgomery is located at 4000 Eastern Boulevard and online at stiversfordmontgomery.com. Stivers CDJR in Prattville is located at 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and online at stiverscdjr.com. Longshore and McKnight have been Stivers customers for over 15 years. You should be too. Stivers Automotive, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Hey, Barry, just for the record, I did get the 79 Sugar Bowl stats just texted to me if you were interested by any chance.
1979, when Jimmy Carter was the president.
Golly, sure was.
You
know, Barry, time of year
this is so old.
Yeah, I love that. Robbie, it's like a bear awakening from hibernation.
He says you've got to have, if you guys have never heard Robbie before, you're missing out. You got to have a good balanced offense to win championships, John, and a great defense. Prescott has been outstanding in his career. The Dallas defense has been terrible the last few years. Couldn't agree with you more on that, Robbie. Prescott is outstanding. Now, some people will go through some hyperbole and say Well, how many championships has Dak won? Well, how many has everybody else on that team won? I'm not saying he's the number one quarterback in the NFL, but John once got an entire car dealership to stop in their tracks when he said Dak Prescott is not a top 15 quarterback with his 4,000 yards passing. I don't know that. So I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah. Okay. Now back to, again, post-millennium. We are 26 years plus into the 21st century. So no more 40 years ago and 45 years ago in Stedman Cheeley and, Steve Bartkowski,
Jeff
his
Rutledge,
team once lost such and such. Yeah, we're talking about, where all of the college football players, the millennium that they were actually born in, and what's happening right now with some of these schools. The biggest hot button topic nationally right now, and it will be all season long, and you might as well get used to it, is again Lane Kiffin and LSU, who, by the way, LSU is coming to Auburn in late October, and then 2 weeks later is hosting Alabama. Here's my hot take on LSU, germane to the people who are watching us here in the Yellowhammer State. Auburn will beat LSU. Alabama, that'll be in Auburn. Auburn will beat LSU. Alabama will lose at LSU.
Oh.
Because the one thing you can say about Alabama right now, they've got so many question marks, and they weren't very good offensively running the football, protecting Ty Simpson. You're thinking, okay, if all of that's going on, no alpha dog, who do they've got on the offensive line, da-da-da. The one thing that I like about Alabama more than anything else is their schedule's okay, right? They can, it's, having Georgia on there is tough, but they're at home. Having Texas A&M is tough. Texas A&M's a sleeper, but that's at home. Going to LSU, Alabama should win that game. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but they're not going to. This schedule gives them a shot to maybe to punch above their weight that their talent says. Auburn, that's going to be one to put a lot of your eggs in that basket, that LSU game. I'd say Auburn wins LSU. Alabama loses at LSU.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. Auburn will be LSU's 8th straight game in a row. They do not have an off week until
I thought
after
they had an off week
Auburn.
before Georgia.
So LSU's got to play 8 in a row.
Oh, LSU's got to play 8 in a row. Yes.
Before they host, before they go to Auburn.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they'll have played teams like La Tech, McNeese, Kentucky, and Mississippi State, but they are football games, and they'll play 8 in a row before they go to Auburn. Auburn, on the other hand, will have already had an off week, but they will have faced Georgia in Athens, and then they'll go to Ole Miss after hosting LSU, kind of a little sandwich game there for the Tigers. But I could certainly see a victory there. Of course, Alabama and LSU with the customary off week before those two teams battle it out in prime time. Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, Holly Rowe, you know the drill. That's not totally, crazy. I could see that. Auburn's going to beat somebody this year they're not supposed to. They're going to beat a team they're an underdog against. That is going to happen. But I'm trying to think, Auburn won't be an underdog till maybe they go to Tennessee. Maybe. Thinking they probably will a little bit because they're on the road, depending on what Tennessee's done to that point.
Baylor, Southern Miss, Florida, Vanderbilt.
Of course, there again, Barry, Auburn's catching Tennessee at a good spot because Tennessee would have hosted Texas the week before.
I don't think Tennessee's going to be very good.
I don't think so either.
I don't think this is a bounce back year behind either Faison Brandon or George McIntyre at quarterback.
But see, those are little things there, Barry, that you got to kind of look at because Texas and Tennessee don't play very often. It'll be a very exciting atmosphere on the banks of the Tennessee River. Auburn comes in the next week. Whatever, Auburn. So what?
Cannot.
Ripe for an upset. Auburn coming in there to beat Tennessee. So that could happen.
All right. The entirely opposite ends of the orange spectrum.
Yeah.
Tennessee and Texas.
So are people hearing what I'm saying here? Auburn could beat Tennessee. I laid out a plan, very logical plan for how that could happen. Same thing with going to Baton Rouge and winning. Is that media bias?
That would.
Am I cheerleading? Am I pumping up the Auburn program and deflating others? Rah, rah, sis bamboo, kick him in the butt, big blue. Hey.
Sis boom paw. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
The more you play, the more chances you have to win during Diamond Days all summer long at Victoryland Casino. Win diamond jewelry and your share of $105,000 in free play. Also all summer long, it's TV Tuesdays. Win TVs and your share of $80,000 in free play. Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days and TV Tuesdays with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, here we are back at it, about 8 minutes to the top of the hour on this Monday. Hey, don't forget tomorrow, Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, Travis Ryer on YouTube will join us tomorrow on the program. Right now, though,
it is
Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel.
Brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85, Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
Yeah.
Here we go. 6 topics.
6 topics.
Don't have any idea what any of these are.
Multiple
about.
Colors.
Oh, boy.
Gurn's Day Off.
Not Gurn. Oh, wait, hang on. Gurn. Nice. There he is. Our buddy Warren Matthews with his Fort Dale 8th grade tournament basketball T-shirt on. And there's Gurn Jr. with him.
Man, which are they both drinking Busch Lights? What's going on there? Awesome.
Looks like a Fresca.
It looks like a Fresca.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Warren Matthews.
How about that?
Yeah. All right. Over under. Which one's greater?
Huh?
Stedman Shealy's age or Warren Matthews' age?
I think Stedman's got a couple of years on.
Stedman's from Dothan. Warren's from Ozark.
Correct. So I think Stedman's got a couple of more years on. I wonder where that picture was taken. That water looks familiar.
It was not the Lee County Lake. I can promise you that. And I would guarantee it would take maybe 5 seconds for Warren to be able to give us a Stedman's to Shealy story. He either played golf with him or he had
no doubt.
Cousin who, was a fraternity brother of his or something like that.
Oh, sure.
Happy birthday to Warren. Now time again to move it along on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel.
That's right. What's up next? It's going to be
bad views.
You don't want a bad view. You get to the Marriott and Grand National. You want a good view. You don't want a crappy
Buffalo.
view. Oh,
yeah, I
Buffalo.
saw this the other day. New stadium, a Highmark Stadium. They've already had practice out there in Fan Day. $2.2 billion. Look at the upper deck. If you got a seat at the upper deck, look.
Oh.
I mean, you talk about obstructed views.
Come on.
These are premium. I mean, these are expensive seats.
Forget it.
If Josh Allen is running a quarterback keeper to the right side, you ain't going to see it. No. They have every single section in the upper deck, first 5 or 10 rows, it's all obstructed.
Wow.
There are, again, now look at this one right here. There are about 1,000 seats in the upper deck that are, and it's not just, hey, you've got a walkway and a handrail and that in front. You're going to have people there the whole time, moving up, moving down. Unbelievable.
You know,
whoever designed this place was drunk.
Yeah, I want a refund. I want a refund.
Somebody says it's a little jarring to have us on the show right now, and John has an Auburn football still behind him. Yeah, that was from earlier. Yeah. He was talking about Auburn. Now, he's not going to change his football view every time he changes, you know.
And somebody asked me if that's actually an Alabama. Oh, that's when they beat Notre Dame in the Rose Bowl, but it was in Dallas. That's that ball.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the wheel. 4 more to go. Let's see what we got.
We have got
blue, maybe? Blue?
Move Over Moo Dang.
Move Over. Is that like a Chinese restaurant? Oh, no. Look at this.
Moo Dang is a pygmy hippo.
Yeah.
Now, this is Mars. These are, again, not big hippos. They're pygmy hippos. And
man,
they're pretty adorable.
Yeah,
you know,
look at that.
They can flip their ears and everything.
They get any bigger than that?
I want to know what that is up at the top. Jeez.
That's mama hippo.
I hope it is. Yeah. Adult pygmy hippos can weigh up to 600 pounds, but regular hippos can get up to 4.5 tons, which is 9,000 pounds.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's a big pygmy hippo, and that's a little pygmy hippo.
That's a little one. Yeah.
Pretty cute. I like that. Moo Dang, and this is, what was the name of this one? I forgot, but Mars, like Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right. So pygmy hippos. I mean, I like that.
All right.
Let's spin away. We got 3 more to go. Let's see what we got. Yellow, red, blue. That's what's coming up. Where's it going to land? Looks like yellow.
Oh, this is bound to be dogs. We're going to get back to sports sometime soon. Let's see. Good boys. Yep. Labradors, UPS driver. This is a true story. I would run throughout my neighborhood. I was a big jogger. And we had these 2 dogs in this fenced-in yard that I'd run by, and they would just bark their heads off at me until I started bringing dog treats with me.
Yeah.
Now they loved me.
Sure
they couldn't wait to see me and everything, but their owner came out, drove over to me while I was running and says, hey, stop feeding my dogs. 2 lab retrievers love the local UPS driver, George, because he gives them treats, right?
Yeah.
Millie and Ellie. Yep. Here he comes. All right, give it up. They don't love George, the UPS driver.
Not at
they
all.
don't love him.
No.
They love the treat.
Sure they do. Yeah.
That ain't nothing to do with George. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know.
They're into the treat.
And he doesn't give them the
Bring 'em on.
nasty dry treats and everything. He gives them the
I mean, you really had a
like the
neighbor
Slim
that told you
Jims,
not to feed the dog. I mean, what a
She did. She says, hey,
probably feeding them that food that costs 10 times what you could get a bag of Alpo for.
please.
You know, all my
I
dogs
probably should have
lived
asked
long,
permission
healthy
before
lives.
then. Yeah.
Fed them Alpo, it was fine. Now it's food and refrigerated and all this crap.
Used to have Gainsburgers.
Yeah, Gainsburgers.
I
Whatever
like
happened
that.
to those? Yeah.
Gainsburgers were good for hiding that pill, that
Chuck
worming pill you
wagon.
had to put in there.
Remember Chuck Wagon?
Yeah. They had the commercial where this dog was actually carrying the schoomer behind it through the kitchen.
That was great.
That was
That's
dogs
food.
don't-
Yeah, come on.
Give me a break.
Feed the dog. Here, you don't care. He'll eat anything. Like Mikey.
Like Mikey from the Life commercials.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more.
2 more to go. Let's see what we got.
Oh,
Blue and red. Dream
of
of
Fields, not Field
Valley
of Dreams.
Fields?
This is Dream of Fields. Capital I in Fields. Oh, yeah, 2020. The Field of Dreams game in Iowa, Dyersburg, Iowa, Phillies and the Twins. It used to be a charming little thing. Now it's gotten all corporate and everything with a huge scoreboard in the cornfield. First Field of Dreams game in 4 years. So the workers could upgrade the site, build a new permanent stadium. It ain't going to look like it anymore. Again, this is all from Field of Dreams, that wonderful movie with Kevin Costner and Amy Madigan and James Earl Jones. Yeah. And da-da-da. Now they've gone corporate with it and kind of ruined the aesthetic of it all. Like everything else in baseball.
Barry, I hate to admit, I didn't even know they hadn't been playing it for 4 years. What have I missed? Well,
you didn't know they were playing it before then either. So one more to go. Got them closing.
One more to go. Let's go blue panel. Got to spin it to make it. And it's called Quick Exit. How appropriate. Yep. Let's see what we got here.
Quick Exit.
Quick Exit.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, this is yesterday. By the way, the Braves lose 2 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium, but they win yesterday to avoid the sweep. Chris Sale he had a balk called against him by Dan Bellino, who's a bad umpire. Called a balk on him the game before. A run scored, and they lose by a run. They come out for yesterday's game, and they throw him out within like 10 seconds.
Whoa.
He wasn't pitching, so it wasn't like a big deal. It's not. Sale is the best left-hander in the National League, and they watch. There's no balk here. Watch. Stop. Well, maybe that was a balk. Now that I see it. And here comes the run. Sale said, "What did I do?" Da-da-da. Anyway, so there's the run that scores, and that's the run that evidently won it. So there you go. I've not seen anybody get thrown out before they even got started.
Was he chirping at him before the game even began?
Oh, heck yeah. Okay, there was that. That is true.
Yeah,
so there you go. And that is our Gurn Jr.
That's
victory
great.
land.
I love it. Braves player gets the thumb before the game really even gets started. Beautiful. Yep. Love it.
Wasn't going to play anyway. It was his start the day before. Let's close it out here. Brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85, Shorter, Alabama. You know the drill on Tuesday.
Yes,
that means Travis Ryer on YouTube. To talk a little Alabama with us, Brian Matthews from auburnsports.com. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.